Good evening and welcome to our DS Domination Google Hangout. We do these every single week on a Wednesday night, 9 PM GMT, and it's for people that are in the UK. It's for people that are inside DS Domination. It doesn't matter whose team you're on. We're here for you. We're here to support you. We want to put you in touch with the support that is available to you. So get in touch with anybody that you see on these Hangouts. We're all as one family with DS Domination. We're all here to help you. So what we've got as support is we've got a Facebook group, and we've got it for each different level. So if you're just at the pro, we've got a support group for you, and we've got the elite, and we've got the other products as well. So that's really key that you get tapped into that and check it, you know, kind of regular, because things happen on a daily basis. So get in touch with anybody that you see on these Hangouts. We're all as one family with DS Domination. There we go. That was me. Sorry about that. So yeah, the support groups are really important. They change rapidly. So as soon as there's something that somebody's worried about, they don't know about, they put the message into these Facebook groups and they get an answer instantly. So that's why they're really important. And I had somebody, can you believe this, somebody that wasn't on Facebook. It kind of blew my mind, but you need to, even if you just use it for DS Domination support, create a Facebook account and get plugged into these groups, and if you do nothing else, you've got some live support there for you. So DS Domination, if you're watching this, you don't know what it's all about. It's about getting some products from, let's talk about the lowdown package, is the pro account. You can start off for £12, and with it you've got a huge amount of training in there. You've got live webinars that keep you bang up to date with what goes on in the selling world from eBay and from Amazon. So we're going to pick a product from Amazon and we're going to sell it onto on eBay, and we're going to make a profit from that. You don't have any inventory in your house, you don't have any stock in your house, you don't have any garden sheds that are full up of product, and this is what we do. Then as you go up the different levels of product within DS Domination, it's all training, and it'll all refine your selling ability and your profit. So it'll make it more profitable the higher up the products you go. You'll find items then that are of a bigger profit margin each item. So you're looking at getting $50 and getting $100 per item and more and more. So as you make profit in DS Domination, we want you to upgrade, and we want you to get the most benefit from it. We want you to get discounts from using the products, and we want you to be selling in the US as well. We had a good focus last week on selling in the US and what you need to do to enable your accounts to be set up correctly, get the right feedback, and get yourself into the US and start trading it over there. Now, what happened from that was there was so much buzz about it in the groups. The groups have kind of exploded with questions and people trying it, people doing stuff. Are people having success? And then, yeah, comments down there, people are having success. So people are actually interacting, and people are getting the advice that enables them to then step over that. I think it's a bit of fear that stops you doing it. Gets you over that little barrier that you've got, and there's other people doing it, so why not you? So that's what we're at the moment. We've got Kevin on here, Kevin Wilkes on here, and he's going to touch on now the event we're having in the UK. It is, well, I won't spoil any surprises. I'll leave it all to Kevin. So this is going to be the first event for the UK, a good old group of people. I've had people messaging me saying, that we're going to meet each other down there, and I think it's going to be fantastic for what it's going to do for DS Domination. And it all builds towards when Roger comes over, we've got a crowd of people that will then go and spread the message of DS Domination and spread the message of, they're making money with it. So, Kevin, are you ready now?
Sorry?
Are you ready?
I was just being Rick this week.
Ah, you just playing game.
Yeah, you're not going to let me live that down, are you, Kevin? I wasn't playing games.
That's it. There's no batteries in it or anything. I just wanted to pull your leg, mate.
Fair enough.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Well, what an unbelievable success that has been. We've talked about having an event since we started. Really, we looked at doing it in the early days, sort of January, February time. I don't think we were quite ready for it, to be perfectly honest. We've got a lot further down the line. We've got a lot more knowledge. There are people who understand different things. They've got more levels and so on. I mean, just about everybody who joined in November was in Pro and only in Pro. So now we've moved on to now. What's that? 8 months later. Glad to say there's a lot of people doing a lot of different things on the affiliate side, all sorts of things. What we do find is that some things are a little bit higgledy-piggledy, lots of questions coming on, people not understanding this, not understanding that, and so on. So we decided that now was the right time to put an event together so that we could bring people along, we could present all the different levels to people, in a way try and offer a structure as well to work with, which in regard to what you're going to do with your DS Domination business and how you're going to take it forward. You don't have to follow the sort of things that we're going to put in front of you, but there's a lot of thought being put into this. And miraculously, within 12 days, we sold out, basically. There were 100 seats available. I am aware that there's a little bit of extra space, and I know a couple of guys who have brought tickets who aren't coming. I know that for a fact. So we've actually booked 110 seats. So that's where we're at with the event. So right now, I'm very busy myself putting together a format for the whole day. I'm delighted to say it's looking pretty full. My little one's just come behind me. I'm delighted to say it's looking pretty full in terms of topics and subjects, and got lots of contributors at the moment. Stephen's going to be doing something, probably more than he thinks. And Rick has come forward and offered to do things as well. So we've got some good guys on there putting some stuff in front of everybody, from everything from pros to elite to unleashed to the affiliate side and so on, and Genesis as well. I've sort of put Shelley on the spot here because a few of you will know from the groups that Shelley and I have brought Genesis, and she's currently done all the training, so we're going to do a section on that as well. So it's looking a really good day. The one thing I would say, I don't know how many people are on the Hangout, but I'm looking for more contributors. And what you've got to sort of bear in mind, guys, this does you the world of good, because if you put yourself up there in front of people, your profile, not just in sort of DS Domination, but also on Facebook, you'll get photographs, you'll get testimonials, all sorts of things that you can post out there on Facebook to say, there I was at the event, up the front, talking about X, whatever X might have been. So it's actually good for you if you can come forward and say, yeah, I think there's something I can contribute to the day. And at the end of the day, it's a team effort. It's not the Kevin Wilkes show or the Stephen Hales show, or it's not one individual. It's a team effort. So the more of us we can get up front, contributing, giving something back to everybody, the better. What I'm particularly looking for is people who've got elite and they're being successful with it. Unleashed, Monopoly, and obviously Genesis. So at those levels, if you've got any of those products, if you're trading successfully and you're doing quite well, we're doing a panel on the USA. So anybody who's trading solely or mainly in the USA, if you could come forward. And obviously I've already got people to cover all of these slots, but it's better if there's a panel up there. So if you've got any of those products, you're doing well, particularly if you're trading in the USA, please contact me through Facebook and say, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting involved and joining in, because, as I say, it's a team effort. That would help massively. So exciting. Unfortunately, we are sold out, so there's no more seats available. There might be another event after this one, but we're not going to let you into that one until that's sort of fully decided. Let's see how this one goes. The idea is to create a bit of momentum for anybody, particularly if you're on the affiliate side and you're looking at recruiting people. Actually, I'm being a little bit devious. There is another event, and it's already decided where. I'm not going to tell anybody yet. I'll tell you at the event. Okay, at this event, the point is we do the first one, we make it amazing. Everybody has a fantastic time. You bring your prospects along, they have a fantastic time, and then the next event, we're booking a room for 200, and so on and so on. That's how we gain momentum. Okay, so that is definitely happening. But as I say, I'm not going to tell you where. You'll have to come to the event for that one, for those that are coming to the event. And then after the event, you'll have to keep an eye out on the group pages, because everything will be revealed there for you. Okay, it's not Wembley Stadium, I can tell you that. Okay, so that's pretty well where we're at the moment, just formatting things, putting stuff together, and it's exciting. It's also quite nerve-wracking, of course, but it's very exciting what's coming together.
So it's going to be like a huge information day for people to get to know what the products are, meet people that are having the success that they, people come online to create a business online. They want to see that people are actually making these, results, don't they? So it gives flesh to the numbers that people are getting.
Yeah, I mean, everything like this. I don't like saying network marketing, because at the moment network marketing has not got a very good name. An awful lot of people have gone into network marketing. They've gone out there to sell somebody's product and struggled. We know, those of us that are in the industry, we know that 95 to 97% of people in network marketing fail. We know that. In fact, the business wouldn't want everybody to succeed, because the business probably wouldn't succeed. But it is related to network marketing, this, in terms of bringing people in. The difference is we've got the most amazing product. We just don't have to sell it to people, because it makes money for them, which is completely different. And that's the point, is to get together and, as you say, go through some of the technicalities of this, and explain the difference between this and everything else we're doing. But in every other product that's out there, they have meetings, they have team meetings. Sometimes, I've got to be honest, I've been to a few and I nearly fall asleep. The intention here is to make this a lively presentation, which will be fast moving, as fast as we can, obviously allowing for human beings, a fast moving event that come the end of it, you're like, wow, I had such a good time. And people come away from that event keen to, they've now got concrete evidence of things that are being done by other people who are going to stand up and tell you, I am trading in the USA. In fact, we've got one particular person that I know of who's going to head up that thing, has never traded anywhere else. She started in the USA and she's never done anything in the UK, but she's in the UK. So she's going to stand up and say to everybody, hey, what are you frightened of? Come on, it's all I do. And that's the point. When you've left, you'll have had everything that you're doubting a little bit about should have been answered. We're not going to go into the technicalities of eBay and Amazon. I must emphasize that. I don't know about you guys in your group. I'm seeing a lot of questions coming about eBay and Amazon. I've got to tell everybody, do you know the best person to ask about eBay and Amazon? eBay and Amazon. It's coming onto the group and they're asking lots of questions about it. Ask them. They're complex animals. None of us can really fully know how those businesses function. If you want a quick answer, go to them. Okay, they're going to give you it quite quickly. But yeah, it's exciting, Stephen.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. And I think that that a lot of people that do actually make the effort to get to these events, it really does expand your mind of what you can achieve. That there's a lot of people in the same situation, and just swapping stories. When you have the lunch breaks, when you have the breaks afterwards, swap business cards with people, get in touch with more people that are in the same situation. It doesn't feel like you're out there on your own doing it yourself. It feels like, right, we're all doing this together now. So it's another bit of getting to an event is really key to keeping your enthusiasm going and pushing yourself forward. Because if so-and-so can do it and they're exactly the same as you, they've got a full-time job or they've got 7 kids and 3 cats and dogs or whatever, if they can do it, then you can do it as well. So there's a lot of it's good to get the feedback off the people, isn't it?
I think, yeah, and I think we're all online, we're all on Facebook, We're making connections online. We do the Hangouts, so you see, 3 or 4 guys on the Hangouts and so on, and they can make a bit more of a personal connection to us because they see us on here and make their judgments as to what type of people we are. But actually meeting somebody in the flesh and shaking their hands or giving them a hug or whatever, as a human being, your rapport with that person changes a lot. I mean, the online stuff, the Facebook stuff is quite cold, really, which is actually can be good for business. Because you don't get too emotional, which you shouldn't in business. But in this, there is a comradeship that I think we can build on, and just that personal touch is going to make you go away and speak to people that you've met at the event, and your relationship will change, hopefully in a good way. Moving forward. So yeah, no, I encourage anybody, in fact, not just this event, but every event that gets held, try and get there. Because what you'll find is I'm going to do a little inspirational bit in the middle, and I'm not going to tell you about it now, but this will explain this bit. But you'll find that, when you've done the event, you'll get that momentum again when you come away, and you'll have at least a week or two of you're up for it, that you had in the first place. So it's good to go, definitely. I hope.
Have confidence. So what have we? You say you've got Genesis.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on a little bit of the fine details of Genesis so that we can go out there and replicate it straight from this 2 minutes?
No.
What's going on with Genesis?
I'll tell you where we're at with Genesis, and I don't know if Shelley will come and contribute because no, she's just yelled.
Yeah. Even I heard that.
It wouldn't hurt. You don't have to tell them what's what, but you can do a little bit, can't you? Come and earn your keep, woman. That's me. That's no dinner for me later. As I said, she's done all the training. I've actually now watched the webinar that Roger did last Saturday twice, and I am blown away by the possibilities. The problem, of course, is it's $1,000, £600 to buy it. And for a lot of guys, again, I saw a long thread on the UK group today, and absolutely fine. We understand that some people are going to build this slowly from pro, earn a few pounds, get elite, earn a few pounds, get unleashed, and whatever, and earn a few pounds and get Genesis. We understand that, and if that's your route, fantastic. We're fully behind you, absolutely, because for some people, it's going to make them nervous. For me as a business person, I invest in my business. I always have done. And I know people who've started businesses up and they've gone to the bank and borrowed tens of thousands of pounds because they've got a business plan and everything together. So for others, it's completely opposite. They will invest in their business. For me, it's kind of a no-brainer because when you look at what's in there and what the possibilities are, assuming it works, you'll get your money back in no time. Now, for me and Shelley, obviously we went over there, and you may well know there's 2 or 3 other guys who've got Genesis as well in the UK. There aren't very many at the moment. For me and Shelley, we're happy to be the guinea pigs. We're happy for people to keep an eye on us and see what we're doing. Something happened to me last week which was just too spooky for words. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in subliminal messages coming to you. And some of you may know that I also sell driveways and patios for a living. High quality driveways and patios, I should add.
Nice.
Not cheap and cheap driveways. We do a very, very professional job of what we do. And last week I went to see a lady to give a quote for a patio, and I sat there with her, and as I always do, I talk about what I do, and I talked about DS Domination, and without me mentioning Genesis, she explained to me that her father, she worked for her father imports products direct from China, okay, and his business is thriving. It really is absolutely thriving. In fact, the flat that I met her in, underneath was a parade of shops, above is a gym and a few flats. He owns the block, everything, so he's a successful businessman. I'm not saying he's made it all from this one particular business, but he's a successful businessman. I just started to talk to her about this. The company that he imports through is the same company that's in Genesis. I didn't ask for the information. She just said it, and I'm like, this is unreal that you've just said that, because I've only just brought Genesis, and I didn't lead her there. She said it off her own back. So straight away I'm thinking, right, there's a message here. So I've come home to Shelley and I've said to Shelley, right, come on, get on with it. You need to get this moving quickly. A, because we want to put it in front of everybody and say we're doing it successfully. And B, this girl's just told me her dad's making a lot of money using the same company. That's not what Genesis is all about. There's a lot more in there, by the way, teaching you how to find the right product, you know, all sorts of things in there. You know, I'm in the seminar on, or whatever you want to call it, the webinar on Wednesday night was like 3 hours for Roger to explain everything. So he's not just going to come on and say, use this supplier, that. So let me tell you, there's a lot more in there. So after that, that was just too spooky for words. So we're doing that.
The thing that I've been seeing in a lot of status updates of the people that have got it, like in the US mainly, is that they're sourcing an item for like $1 or less, and they're selling it. This item is a hot selling item on Amazon for like $40. So how many of them
I'm going to get
items?
I'm going to get her. She's going to have no choice because she's just done this. Shelley.
And another thing is when you find these items, there's loads of them. They're just loads of suppliers. I mean, that is exciting, you know, to be able to print money like that, isn't it?
Get yourself a chair. Come on. Or you can sit on my leg if you like. No. Look what happened to her last time she sat on my leg.
Yeah. Hi, Shelley. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Oh dear.
We want to know everything about Genesis.
She isn't going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, I found, and literally, I've done the training, and it's not even as long as Pro, and literally, I've followed it to the T, and I found 5 products. You only need to. Roger says to find 3, and I found 5 different things, and one little thing I can let you in on is one of the products I found is an item from an elite supplier, and a lot of people in elite are selling it. So, and I've just found this item in China. So, just to let you know, you guys in elite might be buying it off me, but there you go. It is very good.
That's one of the tricks for this, because if you get if you get Genesis, you will be importing product, you will be listing it on Amazon, and part of the package, I believe, I think if I've got this right, Shelley confirm, is that DS Domination dropshippers will be buying it from you.
Yeah, I've seen that in the videos.
Yeah.
So Shelley's found this one. Do you want to go to the maths that you told me earlier? It's just, you don't need to tell them what the product is, but the maths, just the maths.
I think I was just going to say the supplier then. On the supplier, elite supplier, it costs about £15, and I've just sourced it for $3, Chinese dollars.
Wow, what's that? How much is that then?
So it's less than US dollars.
We're not going to tell you.
No, so yeah. So it's just, and that was just one item, and I've just found another 4, and that hasn't even been. Once I found one product, then I found a few others straight away, sort of thing. It's I can't express how good it is. So that's why I was trying to sort of contact them. The next stage is contacting the suppliers and getting samples and stuff. So I'm doing that.
Hey, it's Obi. Hello, Obi.
Hello. Sorry I'm late, everybody.
You're all right. Good to have you on.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Obi. So you've got a product on a supplier that's in Elite, which is that supplier is selling for £15. Shelley's found it for under $3. So it'll be imported. So if you use that supplier in Italy, you'll be selling it for more than £15, obviously, because you've got to build your profits and everything in there. So Stephen, go and get Genesis.
Exactly. Indeed. Well, I saw. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So Genesis is a $1,000 product. Now, a lot of people get frightened because they need $10,000 to go and buy some items on. I saw somebody in the group that's already started. They've got their first product, which is fulfilled by Amazon. They've sent it into Amazon, and they bought 200 of this product. They didn't reveal what it was either. Don't know why they don't do that, but anyway. So they got this item, sent it into Amazon, and within, I think it was 2 days, the item had sold out all these 200 items. So then they've got to take that profit from it, go and buy some more items, and keep doing that. So it was very rapid. They couldn't believe the speed.
I've got to be honest, I didn't see that post, Stephen. And
I heard about it.
Shelley, come on, you've got things to do.
Can I just tell you one little thing?
She's off to order the items.
So I think because these suppliers on this place that you source them from, they sell them in large quantities. But as we're testing the water, we order a sample, which is maybe 100 to 200 of the units of that item. So it comes up very quick, and you can get them straight onto Amazon to test the water.
Do you know the minimum order value?
You can. Each supplier's different. So
we know that's a concern for some people. They think they're going to need a large amount of money to buy their initial stock. But I thought I saw, and Roger did in the webinar, one guy started off with just $100.
Yeah, 100 units. And the thing is, there's always usually about 20 suppliers on this platform selling the item. So you contact them, and basically you go with the one that will deliver the sample that you want.
So are there suppliers there that will, with a minimum order that's
2,000? But if you say, well, I just want units.
But are there other suppliers where the minimum order is, say, somebody can get started with £200?
Well, how it works is that they always have a minimum order value of a large amount, and then if you want a sample amount, you say it's a sample, then you can get your smaller amount, which is a 100 or 200.
Right. Okay. So that's the first order.
Yes.
So the first order, you can order a small amount to get yourself going. Right. Okay.
But if you wanted to just continue doing your smaller amounts, you could just go with lots of different suppliers.
Yeah, and get your samples. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and get established, get some product out there, and test the waters with it, and see if it actually works. I'm sure everything that Roger does anyway actually works, because he's one of these people that thoroughly tests everything, isn't he?
Yeah, and I must say, he puts in so many safeguards. Yeah. When you do your search for your product on this platform where you get your stock from, there's so many safeguards, and the payment methods you use. It's a very safe method, so if you're not happy with the goods, that your money's held, so it's not released until you're happy with them.
Anyhow, Shelley will be there on the 6th of July, so
I won't
when you want more information, she's off now. She will be, otherwise she's going to use everything up for the event. Shelley will be there on the, I hope it's waving to you.
Oh.
So she'll be there on the 6th of July, and we'll get you fully informed, and hopefully by then, she'll have had some product in and done some sales, and we can show you concrete evidence of that. Okay?
Brilliant.
So there you go. That's that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye before you give anything away. Go on.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Cheers, Shelley. Thank you very much. So one of the things that I just saw in a group was, I'll just touch on another one of the products that is out there, is the Monopoly product. And I know that a lot of people stick on the Pro and they go down that route, but the Monopoly, so this is the comparison. If you want to sell a lot of items and obviously have customer support, I won't say issues, customer support things going on, then that's your Pro, and that's selling on eBay. Now, this guy was churning numbers on eBay, and then he got a little bit burnt out and a little bit upset with a few customer support issues that he had. And then he contacted, I think we all know Jason O'Neill, contacted him, and then got the ins and outs of the business and said, what should I be doing? And he said, are you not selling on Amazon yet? He says, you've got the product, why aren't you selling on Amazon? So he says, well, I don't know how it works, don't know this, that, and the other. So he went and started with the Monopoly training. Now, in 12 days, this guy's made $3,500 in sales, and he's only listed, I think he said 20 items, or maybe, 20 items. So he's made about 46 sales in 12 days and churned out that number. And it just shows how fast and rapid you can do it with such few items. And that's the beauty of Monopoly, which is selling on Amazon correctly. You only need a small amount of items, and you need to, you SEO them, make them more viewable out there, and you can churn some huge numbers. So it's quite inspirational to see, somebody that's come just 12 days ago, no sales, to 46 sales straight off the bat, and they said very little customer support issues as well. So there's a bit of inspiration for Monopoly for you.
Excellent. Stephen, as I said, I have snowed under with work, so if nobody minds, sorry, Obi, because I haven't got a chance to hear you speak yet, but if nobody minds, guys, I'm going to have to shoot because I've got my work's coming out of my ears at the minute.
No problem. Thanks for keeping us informed on the event, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Right.
Thanks for coming on, Kevin.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bye.
So we're going to turn the camera straight over to Obi. We're going to put her right on the spot now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what about. Right, so you've seen a lot of things happening this week. I said once, I think it was when we touched on selling in the US.
Yeah.
The Facebook group seemed to explode with questions of how are we doing that, who's doing it, and who's making profit, which supplier. There's all sorts of questions. What have you taken from this week in in the group and in DS?
Well, let me start by saying, guys, that my first ever item that I sold through the DS system was on the US site, simply because the training was all about the US site, so I felt it was better for me just to follow it step by step to make sure that I didn't do anything wrong. So I listed first of all on the US site, and I've been selling on the US site since I started back in October. So the US site, the one thing that I picked up from a lot of the groups and a lot of questions that I'm getting through personally is, oh my god, it's really, really scary. And I just want to say, it's not scary at all. The difference is the sign in front of the money you're making has a different symbol. It's really not that different from the UK site. Mechanically, it's not that different. So if anybody's sitting there going, but it's a bit scary, don't worry about it. It's not that scary, and it's not difficult. It's exactly the same process. Some of the screens look a little bit different. They look a little bit sharper than ours. Their picture uploader is a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's exactly the same process, and it's exactly the same process that we go through finding items, spidering and listing. It's exactly the same. So let me put your mind at rest and say there's nothing to worry about if you're planning on listing on the US site. Some of the things that I've taken away and that that are slightly different is the fact that I find that there's people in the US, on the US site, are willing to spend a little bit more. I don't know if that's because we've had the recession crammed down our necks over here, but I find that you can get away with a little bit more profit margin in the US. That's just my personal opinion. I've been able to maybe get away with an extra 10, 15 quid or what have you, where I wouldn't have thought so before. What else have I noticed? Has anybody else has anybody else noticed anything?
Go on, I'll let the boys jump in there.
I was going to say about pricing on items, actually. Some people always want to undercut, but to be truthful, I look at an item sometimes and I go, I'm going to sell that more than the other person because I know it sells, but still be under the retail price, and you still sell the item. What you got to think about is traffic comes from everywhere. you know, and you got sellers coming from everywhere. So I wouldn't worry too much about trying to be the lowest all the time, you know.
Yes, you've got to remember, people, that it doesn't matter. You know, you can undercut somebody until the cows come home and get this silly price war thing going. But at the end of the day, if your title is better than theirs, Cassini's going to rank you higher, buyers are going to find you, and it could be something as simple as one word, you know, and if you're not entirely certain, then just keep tweaking your titles. I mean, today, I had an item that has had a few watches on it. It's been listed for about 6 days. And I'm not kidding you, within the space of an hour, I made one tweak to this. I just changed I didn't change the words in my title. I simply moved some of the words around. And boom, I sold 3 in an hour. I was amazed. So it's the titles, not so much the price. You've got to, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people in the group, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but I'm seeing a lot of people who seem to be focused on price. I must be the cheapest. I must undercut. I must undercut. Forget undercutting, because you're just going to drive yourself out of the market. Focus on titles. Instead of spending hours fussing because somebody's 50p more expensive than you, then work on your titles instead, because that's what's going to get people finding your items, both on the US and in the UK. And I find that the US, like I said, you can get away with a little bit more profit on it, as long as your titles are good and your pictures are good. That's the main thing, I would say. If anybody's worried about saying on the US, you know, stick up a test item on it. But just remember that the videos, the training, the pro training is there in the background. Just go back and have another watch of it, because it obviously deals with the US. So just go back and rewatch them, and then you can follow them exactly step by step, which is what I did, simply because I wasn't brave enough to change that format and list in the UK. So, yeah, so titles, remember, the key, not so much the price. And I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of people who are very concerned about conversion rates and how much should I put on for fees and all this sort of malarkey going on. My advice to those people is forget your complicated mathematics. Me personally, I stick 25% on when I'm looking at supplier price. I will like, right, okay, 25% on that, what does that make? Then I add on the profit. I make it dead simple, and so far I haven't lost on an item yet. My accountant is probably going to scream at me at the end of the year, but right now that's working for me because I don't do complicated, I don't do maths either, so that's how I work it. But I have seen a lot of people who are concerned about fees and conversion.
Just say that one more time then, because you're sourcing an item from a US supplier.
Yeah.
And
I'll use Amazon as an example, because obviously Amazon is the basic supplier.
Yeah.
So I go to Amazon, I'll find something for $100, and I think, yep, this looks pretty awesome. Let's give this one a go. I make sure, obviously, that it fits my criteria, because I don't sell items in certain conditions. I don't sell anything that's lower than 4 stars, as per the training. I don't sell anything that has had, complaints. I look down the reviews. So I find my item and I think, yep, this is awesome. I've checked on eBay, it's going pretty well. I will then stick $25 on it to cover the fees. Because you've got to remember that obviously you do pay fees in the US. They do have 50 free listings every month, and I'm a business seller. I've got a business account, so it still goes on my business account as well. But it is only certain categories, so do check before you list. Mm-hmm. So I've checked that.
So $25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I usually work on 25% to cover fees. So I put on my 25%. I then look and see how much profit I think I can get away with, basically. I look at the other sellers on eBay, as we all do, and have a look. Obviously I don't want to go too far above them because I don't want to price myself out of the market, but I also don't go too cheap either, because I value my time and I want to get paid for my time. So if it's sort of $5–10 in it, I might think about it. If it's a large item, obviously I stick more profit on it. But that's it. That's bang to bullets. That's how I do it. I don't sit down and do any complicated mathematics. I just stick 25% on it and stick some profit on it and then list it and then get on to the next one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think that settles a lot of people's mind, because they do get confused with the maths, and then it just spirals and their heads going
Yeah.
crazy with numbers going everywhere.
Make it simple. It's not complicated. Don't overthink it. I think a lot of people, because this is a real business and they're a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? They're a little bit apprehensive. They're allowing themselves to overthink it. Roger says it all the time. Don't overthink this. End of the day, if it doesn't sell, it's 30p, and it's a lesson, because you'll learn how to do it better next time. So don't overthink it. Like I said, so on some items, on some supplies you can get away with different, sort of profit margins, etc. But as a general rule, between 20 and 25% will cover your fees, any conversion, and sales tax, which get added in the US, gets added on at checkout. It's just like their version of VAT gets added on at the end, and it's different for every state. So again, try not to overthink it. I've had somebody approach me and say, "Have you got a table of all the taxes for the states?" No, because that's complicated. I just stick on my money and I list, and then I go and make myself a cup of tea and I take the dog out for a walk. There you go.
That sounds too simple.
You know what? Now, this is a little bit off topic, but again, it might help somebody else. I don't know if anybody else has seen this on my Facebook, but I put something up in one of the local Facebook groups to me, and everybody knows that I don't have the highest regard for the place that I live in. And this just drove that regard even further down. I got called a scammer. I got called, "Oh, you're selling a pyramid scheme." Don't you have to sign people up for it to be a pyramid scheme? I got called.
You're in a pyramid all by yourself. That's what it is.
Oh, but you know what? But somebody came to me and she said, if it was that simple, everybody would be doing it. And I was like, yeah. And I'm glad I got there first, love.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is that simple, people. It's not rocket science, because if it was, I wouldn't be here personally. I'm the kid that sits at the back of the class licking the crayons. So if it's complicated, it's not for me. So it really isn't that complicated. And I want people to get over this whole, "Oh, I must do this, I must do that." No, get listing. Start with the tools you've got right now. Start from where you are right now. And then just tweak on the way. If you're going to wait for the time to be perfect and you to know everything there is about eBay, you are going to start listing on your 90th birthday. So crack on and get it done. It's not that complicated. The US is not scary. Their meat's scary, but the rest of it is fine. Selling on eBay is awesome in the US, so just give it a go.
Yeah, and do you have to handle things like, like the regular business down the street, somebody buys some clothing and then a week later they come back with it and they have to be returned? Do you have to deal with things like a traditional business?
Yeah, I've dealt with returns, and considering I've got 100% feedback, obviously I do pretty well at my returns. You don't get as many returns as people seem to think you do, and depending on the supplier, the customer service has gone from okay to amazing. So it really is as simple as, you've got to remember that in this, you're sort of the middleman, but you're also a customer of this business. So if you are returning something to Amazon, they're going to try and do their best for you, so you in turn can do the best for your customer. So you've just got to remember that returns are not scary either. And I found, again, that's a difference from the UK to the US. The US is more geared up for customer service, so the customer service and returns process tends to be a lot easier, in fact. So don't be scared about returns. Just because you happen to be 6,000 miles away from them doesn't make any difference. You can still treat this exactly how you're treating your UK eBay business. It's just there's a dollar sign in the front, and the phone numbers are a bit weird.
Yeah, and the main thing about selling in the US on eBay.com or on Amazon, if you're on the monopoly side of things, is the huge amount of traffic that is over there.
Oh, so yeah.
It's
That's
just
shoppers.
It's mind-bogglingly massive. So compared to this little country here, where we've got a few items, the US is just crazy. So as soon as you can get over there, the better. And Amazon is, what is it, bigger than the 6 biggest competitors or whatever it is. It's huge. So that's the amount of traffic that you get. There was a guy, he showed the back office of his Amazon account, and he showed that, initially, like when he started 12 days ago, it was very small numbers and he was just making a little bit of traffic, and then Amazon build, they'll give you more and more views with the more items you sell. So his traffic rating was just going higher and higher and higher, and he was like 22,000 views on an item. It's just, insane traffic, and that's what you need. Traffic means, people are looking at your item, and then you're going to get some sales from it.
Yeah. You've got to remember that I think when I was out in Vegas, I ran into somebody from Texas, and I think he said something along the lines of, the UK can fit into Texas 3 times over. That's Texas. That's not the whole thing. That's just one area. So there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of items as well. So you don't need to worry about people ripping you off and copying your items. There's more products than you could ever sell in one lifetime. So there really is no reason to worry about. Again, I've been seeing a lot of things in the groups, and I don't know if you guys have seen it as well. People are getting upset about, well, there's saturation. I don't want to hear the word saturation, because it's just not true. You know, there's enough products, there's enough people out there to sell to. You just need to crack on and get it done.
Well, wasn't it? Roger left a comment saying, when you've listed all the items on one of the suppliers, then come back to me and tell me that it's saturated if you haven't had any sales. And there's 2 million or whatever it is items on just one of the suppliers. Yeah. So DS Domination give several suppliers, and just get out there, try and test the water for yourself, and drive them sales up.
Well, that's what we've all done. We just got out there and did the job, and and obviously it's working for us.
And Rick, have we got any questions that you want to highlight on the feed? Are you watching down there?
Oh yeah, I am indeed, mate. Yeah, I'm just trying to. There are a few. Stephen, the other Stephen, has commented a few things. Really, they have been covered by Obi there. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are, who haven't dipped their toe into DS Domination, who are going to be skeptical. That is the typical. We've all been the skeptical person, and I think for the sake of 12 quid, I don't know. I mean, I'm one for, as far as 12 quid's concerned, just stepping in and seeing what's there. For some people, they've lost £20 before, and they don't want to waste 12 quid or something, or risk 12 quid. Basically, this is the most affordable thing I've ever been in. So if you're at all skeptical, there's enough information on YouTube, there's enough proof here in the webinars, there's enough proof everywhere online. This thing is worth well over £12 a month. So if you're going to be skeptical and you're going to and about it, you could be there a very long time. I mean, what's your thing on that, Obi? For the sake of, I mean, if somebody has literally nothing, maybe somebody on benefits may not be the perfect business head to be delving into this, but we know that not everybody on benefits is that. There are some people who want jobs.
Well, let me just say this. Hang on. There's people on this that are watching now. If you've had any success with DS Domination, if we would really appreciate your interaction and your comments. So I noticed one before I flipped over back to this. So just write down, my first week I made X, or I sold my first item in however long, or whatever your numbers are. If you are happy to share them, we would appreciate, your feedback, and then that it's just a bit more proof for people that are maybe on the fence.
Well, to give everybody who's listening an idea, when I started, now bearing in mind that a lot of the guys here on the panel, they've everybody up here is doing fabulously well. Me personally, I have a degree on the go at the moment. I'm studying with the Open University, a business degree. That's supposedly part-time, but anybody else who's ever done an Open University course will know that is bull-poo. It is full-time. I have 2 small children who you've probably seen in the background on other webinars because they can't stay away. We've moved house. We've renovated a house, and this is all since October. Well, obviously, we've had Christmas in the way as well. And I started like everybody else. I stuck my 12 quid in the pot, and to be quite honest with you, I spend that on a bad day in Starbucks, to be honest. And I put up some proof the other day on my Facebook, which it's set to public, so you can go ahead, find me, and have a look at that. My last 60 days, I did just over £7,000 on the eBay site. Obviously, that's with I'm not happy with that because I feel I should be doing more with the training that I've had. But I've got to remember I've had all this other things going on, and my DS business has fitted around that. So for anybody out there who says, well, I haven't got time, oh, that's cute. Children, please, Does
that not wash with you?
No, it doesn't. And I have to say, I do think that Rick is like a little bit like this as well. I don't do excuses. If somebody comes to me and says, well, I'd like to do it, but I switch off at that point. Because as far as I'm concerned, I work with people who are interested in changing themselves, and changing the circumstances. And I don't care if you come to me with literally nothing in your pocket. I had a lady contact me, and she's a friend of mine. I hope she's watching. Hey, Amy. She came to me and she said, she was very cheeky actually. She said, the free webinar that you sent me and the free promotion video that you sent, I took the information out of that and I've already started making some money on eBay. And I was like, oh, you cheeky so-and-so. But it goes to prove that if you want it, you can use the free information that is given out on the videos, the promotion, and these free Hangouts. You could probably take that and at least make the £12 you need to access the rest of the training. And it's an experiment. I'm doing it at the moment with a couple of my friends who have offered to do this for me, and I want to see who is the first to get their £12 together just from the free information. It can be done.
Well, I had a conversation with a woman. She's in my downline, and she's just got on with the training because it's really good that you can get the support you need if you need it. And all the training is so laid out so nice and neatly in there that you can just get on with it. So one of the things she said, I said, what is she in? She said nothing. All the other things just cost me money. And then I said, oh yeah, she said I was getting very close to needing to declare bankruptcy, so I was happy to find something that actually works for me. So it's taken people from that to their first bit of money in an online business, which is an incredible testimonial to DS Domination and what we've got our hands on. So get that £12 out and spend it. So are we getting some? There we go. I'm making 2 sales a day consistently, looking to master Unleashed. Well done, Hon. Stephen, oh yeah, he said Obi, $7,000. That's great. I'll be happy to get 500 a week.
So that's £7,000 in that, but that's sales. That's not profit. Remember, people. That's just sales. I'd rather not go into what I personally make because that's personal. But I've said it before. I paid for my Vegas trip out of my DS Domination profit. Not a single penny came out of my household budget for that. So it's possible, and that's because I set myself the goal and I went for it. I didn't work crazy hours because I had my final assignments due in around about the same time. I actually wrote them on the plane on the way there and back. So it can be done, people, and I'm just so happy that people are making money at this. It's awesome. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. But there's just no other opportunity that's very, that gets people into profit so quickly. So that's incredible. I don't know if you've got any more refreshed comments that I can't see, because mine seem to come in a bit later. So if you have a success story with DS Domination, even whatever it is, we've got 2 sales consistently. That shows that somebody has put in the effort. They've put in, quite a few listings, and now they're getting sale after sale after sale. So very well done for that. Let's have a few more comments. And just in case you missed it from the start, we've got Facebook support groups for each level of DS Domination. So you need to contact anybody on this panel. We will then get you approved into the group, and then you'll be able to, see that it's not just you on your own. See that you've got the support that you need, and get your questions answered immediately so that they don't fester in your mind over and over again, stew away, and then become a huge problem that you can't solve yourself. It takes a simple question. When you write these questions in these groups, just a bit of, what's it called, decorum, or I don't know what it is. Write it in a way that somebody is going to want to respond to you. If nobody's paid to answer your questions, so write it down in a nice manner, and people don't mind interacting with that. It's when somebody comes into the group and demands an answer, I've been in this for so long, I haven't done any training, but I want to make $10,000 a month. Why isn't it working for me? That's not going to get a good answer straight away. So word it properly. There's a lot of really, really supportive people in there, and you can make some really good friendships inside the group by doing that. The last thing you want to do is get somebody's back up.
Also, could I just kind of make people slightly more aware of the fact there are different groups, and posting a question about something within DS Domination training in the UK open group about DS Domination for non-members is not going to get a particularly good response, and if it does, it shouldn't, because that is for non-members. So when you do post your very well-worded question in the group, can you make sure it's in the correct group, because it does help obviously keep the training that we're all paying for separate to the success stories and stuff that we share in the other group.
So that it can be a little confusing because people have got several groups. So the only groups that have that are relevant to the product all have the product name on the end. So it's DS Domination UK Elite or DS Domination UK Pro. The open group is called DS Domination.
DS Domination UK, I think.
UK, okay.
I
So
will double check that, but I think that's exactly what it's called. Yes, DS Domination UK. That's all it's
there
called.
we go.
And
So
then
all the rest of them, make sure that whatever you're talking about is in the product you're talking about. There's a lot of people that are on Elite that are paying good money for it, and they don't want you spilling the secrets into the pro group, and so on.
And I did design some very nice little images to go on the top. So if you're unsure which thing you're posting in, go into the group and look at the images, and feel free to comment and say that's amazing artwork, Rick, and then you'll be sure that you're in the right one.
I'd just like to mention as well, in the groups, just below the banner, there's like a little magnifying glass, and if you've got any questions that you have a look there first, type it into the little search box and have a little look there, because there are questions that I do see time and time again that have been answered by someone else, and you can easily find that information from that location.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So what we're talking about is when you're inside the group, top right-hand corner, you've got a little magnifying glass there. Up, when you click on it, up comes a little search box, and then you're going to talk about what would you talk about? A spreadsheet or whatever. If you want to look up for a spreadsheet information, type in spreadsheet into that thing, and then it brings up all your search results for spreadsheet within that group. It's a very, very unused tool, I think, and it saves you scrolling all the way down, because the real big issue and the thing that's wrong with these Facebook groups is they are very not very easy to manage, and whatever opportunity you're in, you know that the Facebook groups just go, they're not a very good platform to use, because as soon as you post that comment, then somebody else posts another comment, and then this one just goes down and down and down. It just disappears. So you've got to bear with it and use that little spyglass search tool. Very valuable. So have we got any more, guys, or I'd like to wrap it up in the next couple of minutes? No? Okay.
No, I did do a sort of shout out to my good friend Stu, who's just down the road. I know he's been having sort of secret success. This is the problem. After so many people have failed for so long at certain things that they come across something that finally works, and you get two types of personalities. You get the person who's sort of shouting from the hilltops, which I certainly used to, and I'm slightly more reserved these days, but you get those sorts of people. And then you get the people who want to keep it all for themselves and say, oh, I found it, so I'm going to make lots of money by myself. So, guys, there's nothing wrong with sharing your success. It's not all about hype. Hype is usually about things that are not true and just draw people in. You don't need to recruit for this, okay? But it's nice to see the success stories of people. So, yeah, the fact I put Stu's name in there, I don't know if he's still there. I'm going to embarrass him now. But if you want to share so many successes you've had recently, that would be cool. But he
so
keeps
is this people that want to be the secret millionaire?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
With their little stash.
That's one of my little ambitions, actually.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, really cool. Probably not so secret now, I've been on a live hangout, but hey. Right.
Yep, is that all? Right, okay. So we've got the Facebook groups. Make sure you're in the Facebook groups. Contact anybody on the panel to get involved with that. If you've got questions, get it in the groups. Interact with other people. So if you've got experience, we'd love to get you interacting on these questions that people have, because you're the expert. You've done it. You've been out there. You're either trading in the UK or the US, whatever the thing is. We'd love to get more interaction. We've got a lot in there anyway, but it always helps to have an extra couple of people in there. The UK event, I'm excited for it. I know that everybody on the panel is going to be there and excited about it. I think it's going to do wonders for the UK. It's going to really, heighten the profile of DS Domination. It's going to make recruiting even more easy. I mean, a profitable company for £12 is pretty easy to recruit for. But it's going to make it even more open and easy. So what we want to do is get these Hangouts so that you come on, and if you're having success, we've got a lot of people watching and people that watch the recording. Get in touch with anybody, and we want your success story to be on the panel. So like Obi's joined us, we want you to come on here and then tell people your secrets, because the more you put out there, the more value you put out into the marketplace, the more you'll be rewarded. And that's what we do. We put value out there. We try and help you and support you. So with that, thank you very much, guys, for joining us, and Obi, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.